attention. So I'm going to break down exactly how important the Fed's chair, new Fed chair, Kevin Warsh's decision was yesterday, and how it affects you at a deep level. You have to pay attention to what's happening now. We're in a brand new economy. The era of cheap money is dead. But here's the good news. If you're new to investing, or you never really understood how the economy works, I'm here to teach you. This is where you get wealthy. Pay attention. We are heading into a brand new economy. The era of cheap money is dead. Write that down. Era of cheap money is dead. What do I mean by that? Let me make it simple. Okay, from 1995 to 2026, Japan had pretty much zero interest rates. America, from 2008, after the biggest housing collapse that destroyed our parents' retirement, basically they dropped rates near to zero and they printed a shitload of money. Well, here's the issue. This started back in 1988 for America. And we now landed in 2026 where we have to pay the price for all that cheap money. And what it did was it created a mass false economy. Here's a simple example. If you make $100,000 a year, that used to be a lot of money. But in America today, that is not even middle class. But if you make $100,000 a year, you can get a $70,000 auto loan. So what does that mean? It's because you make $100,000 a year, you can get a $70,000 auto loan. You can finance over 78 months. So you increase your purchasing power to 170,000, but you actually can't afford that car. And we could do that for a very long time, and we could sustain the economy for a very long time because interest rates were very low, so money was cheap to borrow. But that era is dying. And the announcements yesterday changed everything. So Kevin Warsh comes in and says, we're no longer doing forward guidance. That's huge. We're not predicting, anticipating. He is data driven. What have I been teaching you guys on my YouTube channel and right here? It's about data. Numbers don't lie. I can't stand the price prediction people, the hopium, the hype. Numbers don't lie. And then Trump was asked about his decision. It was completely opposite of how he responds to Jerome Powell. This decision was not favorable to what Trump is trying to create in the economy. They are keeping rates the same, and most of the Fed chairs want to raise rates because he said, we are bringing inflation down to 2%. It will take us till 2028. So to understand that, how does that affect you personally? To bring inflation down to 2%, they have to raise rates, not lower rates. So already people can't afford a home. Already people have more expensive credit. Already the middle class is at $1 trillion in credit card debt. Savings are drained. So data is going to drive us into a real economy where people have to buy stuff that they can afford. This is the great financial reset. I know everybody wanted to tell you they're going to come in and wipe out all your debt. They're going to reset everything. They're going to go into this utopia of everybody's debt's going to get wiped out. We're going to start all over. No, they're going to reset it, pushing people to buy shit they can afford. Now, here's the good news. Especially if you're in crypto, this is going to cause a bumpy road for crypto. And eventually the stock market. The stock market's extremely overvalued. Eventually that AI bubble will pop at some point. I don't know if it's going to be this year. I think it's going to be 2027. But you're in a bear market for crypto. We've told you that. I think June, July, August, September are going to be bumpy. We're probably going to ladder down to the bottom around November for Bitcoin, which will drag the rest of the market down. That's the good news. You get wealthy in red, not in green. Wake up. You don't get wealthy waiting for a price prediction. You get wealthy by buying when everybody's fearful and selling when everybody's greedy. That's why we're so calm. When everybody was greedy in 2020 to 2022, we pulled profits and did what? We built cash flow streams. When everybody freaked out when it collapsed in 2022, 80%. We had cash flow streams to buy in 2022, 2023. It skyrocketed in 2024, and all the influencers told them it was going to keep going. And we're like, no, it's not. We pulled profits, and it collapsed. And because we bought more cash flow, guess what? We had money to buy the 2025 dip. And guess what we're doing right now? Because we built cash flow streams, we built horizontally, not vertically. We're now buying the shit out of these suppressed markets in crypto. And also, you have banks coming in now, guys. Do you think the institutions want to buy Bitcoin at 150,000, or do you think they want to buy it at 40,000 or 50,000? Do you think they want to buy XRP at $1.11, $1.20, $3, or $1,000, or do they want to buy it at 60 cents? A whole new group is coming in, guys. Institutional investors are coming in. They want this shit dirt cheap. So they'll get the Clarity Act. They're going to get approval to start custody your crypto. They already have, Stablecoin Act. They're going to get clear rules of the road to operate in crypto. You want to buy cheap. So play the game the same way. Build conviction. Understand what you're invested in. When it's red and you understand and you're convicted in what you're invested in, then you buy when it's red. And when it's green and everybody's greedy and coming in and talking about getting rich quick, you get some off the table and leave some in for a super cycle just in case these influencers are right. And you build cash flow when you pull profits. You build family protection through cash value life insurance. You build some businesses or buy companies. You build structure because the markets work just like nature. What we're about to experience is a resetting back to homeostasis, to a real economy. And all those people, to include you, that are over leveraged in debt you can't afford because you borrowed against future labor, it's going to require you resetting, building a budget, getting back to fundamentals, creating a plan that you can be proud of. So I'll keep bringing you this information. I'm not